Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of the Super Smash Cast.
This is the show where we take turns interviewing special guests while playing Super Smash Bros.
So I'm Joshua.
And I'm Trey, of Just Two Guys.
Yep. And in this show, first I'm going to play a match with our special guest while asking them questions, and then following that, Trey is going to do the same.
And our first guest is a YouTuber who we work with on stream and who has over 7.6 thousand subscribers, Kirk, aka JigsawFlex.
Hey guys!
So the very first thing that we should probably ask you, Kirk, is tell us about yourself. Just a little, just really quick. You know, sum up your life and your career, your YouTube career, in just a few words or just a few sentences.
That's gonna be tough, but I think a good way to sum it up is, I think my whole career as a YouTuber, or my life as a YouTuber, has been just me figuring out where I belong in terms of just my interests. I've always had trouble making new friends at school, or just retaining friends at school. Sure, I would have some, but it's kind of like those surface level friends you would have, you're in class with, or you hang out time to time, but it's nothing you can really talk about with them to an extent. So I've always just had that problem getting closer to people. And sure, I did have a few of those friends, but I always felt like I was disconnected to society. So YouTube was basically my outlet in being able to find other people with similar interests, and it has become a good journey in terms of doing what I love while hanging out with the people I also love at the same time. So yeah, that's a quick summary of I guess my life as a YouTuber.
Okay. Now, would you say that there's any particular thing that you can pinpoint as the reason why it was hard to have very good friendships in school?
It's more so because a lot of people back in the day, I want to say early elementary school was when it started, and as a big fan of Nintendo since I was I want to say 5, I had a hard time finding people like that as I got older. It was easier when we were younger because we were all I guess at that age where most people would play Mario or Zelda or whatever, and then everyone became I guess more into other things. In terms of video games, everyone transferred to Xbox, for example, and so I just had a hard time being able to talk to people about certain things like Nintendo, things I'm passionate for. And it didn't even end there though. I just had a really hard time in general with everything I like. As someone that I guess the not so popular stuff, such as when it came to sports, everyone was so into baseball and football or whatever it is, but I'd be more into professional tennis, and I had no one to talk to about, and it didn't help that my grade was only 90 something people, I want to say. So you don't really have a good selection from there. And so that's basically one of the reasons why I started YouTube, to see if there's other people like that, and more so because I just tested the theory of I just tested a YouTube theory that I might be able to find people just because I played Paper Mario. I was stuck one day. I found the Let's Player Chugga Conroy, and then I just basically was yo, this guy likes Nintendo. And then I see in the related section more people with more Nintendo content. And so the whole idea kind of stems from there, but more of it, I guess more than half of the reason is because I also wanted to see if people online would I guess click with me more than it is in real life. So yeah.
So are you currently attending university?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, so right now I am going to be a senior, and I am studying communication and media arts, but it's just really communication in a specific area of study.
And is there any way that you can say that what you're studying or your academic interests have influenced your ability to create content?
For me, well, I chose communication just because I was already into video editing and all that stuff. So yeah, as a communications major, I only chose it because I was already like into like the creation stuff side of like YouTube, editing, in terms of just being a personality, and being a big part of being a communications major is like you need to know how to talk to people. And so like I've taken so many classes, like journalism, video production, TV production, all stuff that will help me with my YouTube journey. And that's kind of the reason why I chose it. I didn't really know what I wanted to study, to be honest. I was originally going to do bioengineering, but I realized I don't really like math that much. I was fairly good at it, but it was not something I was passionate for, and I would definitely get bored of doing. And also because I need to take chemistry, and I am horrible at chemistry. So that's why I chose that major in the first place, to go well with what I already like, and I feel like that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, I will have a very terrible year, terrible 4 years at college, and after I graduate, I'll probably will become one of those unhappy adults that are just living for money. So yeah.
So part of that, it sounds like, was also still based around the idea of like learning to communicate with other people and express like your interests. So like, what do you think that as you've been doing it, have you successfully sort of transitioned into being a full-time YouTuber? Do you think that that's where we're going? That's where you're going? That seems to be what you want.
That's what I really want to do. I thought about doing something in the social media field, like a social media marketer or something, in terms of like, I guess, a practical job. But the real goal is like, I do want to be full-time. That's been the goal of mine for a while. And despite me, since I didn't say this before, during my high school years, I kind of actually took a big hiatus because I just wanted time to think, to see what I wanted. So, yeah, in terms of like my schedule and everything, I've been committing to like trying to be full-time with what I'm doing right now, like especially since it's summer. I actually recently bought a whiteboard to write down all like my ideas, the stuff I want to do for the channel, or just simply in general to help me out. One of the biggest things right now that's like distracting me from, I guess, pursuing this like dream job is like, well, laziness for one. More so because since I was in school for, I want to say, 7 months, because January, and I didn't finish all my classes till mid-July, actually, this past semester, because I took summer classes. And so now that it's summer, yeah, or in summer break for me, I am finally doing more content again. However, I do want to enjoy my summer break at the same time. So it's like the struggle of me trying to be an adult, doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm still kind of a kid inside and want to just play games or have fun. Yeah, I'm still in that transition right now. And so, yeah, I mean, I do want to be able to do this. I do want to be able to do what I can before I do graduate, because that's what I want to end up doing ultimately, just doing YouTube. I find that the only thing I'm really happy doing. Not a lot of the things at school interest me as much. I look at like internships at school or people doing stuff at school in relation to the major, and for some reason they just don't interest me as much, despite it being already in the area I want to be in. I just feel like YouTube is just right now what I see myself doing. I mean, surely it might change in the future as people's interests change, but I can't really give you guys a definite answer in terms of like full-time, if my schedule is like what you guys seem for it to be, like staying more strict. While I am kind of strict, I am still kind of in that, I guess, kid phase where I have no idea what direction I'm really going in yet, but that's the ultimate goal.
Now, would you say that there's a checklist or some sort of list of prerequisites that you would have to fulfill with your channel in order to get to that goal from where you are now?
Yeah, totally. So, I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, and they've been saying they've been giving tips to other YouTubers on like how to be successful, what you need to do in order to become full-time, because that's come across my mind to the point where I do want to do it. And the biggest problem right now, apparently, I want to at least reach is 15K subscribers right now, because apparently, according to this one YouTuber, or even like actually a few of them, they've said that at 15K is when your channel will get more publicity and your videos will show up more, like it'll rank higher. So one of the goals right now is 15K, so my videos can be seen more to the public, and that's always an issue with creating content, having to struggle to have your stuff on the first page or whatnot, and you're not going to get anywhere if no one's seeing your stuff. So right now, that's one of the goals, 15K subscribers and consistency. So yeah.
Now, on your projected, how you've been growing so far, let's just say that's the trend line. How long do you think it'll take you to reach 15K? Just with your current subscriber growth.
I do want to make it, to be honest, like during the school year or something. Definitely before I graduate is what I want, but it all depends, my consistency, me making good content, like my 20 facts Mario Kart video. I need to make something like that again, because it has like 700K views. So yeah, I can't really tell, but I do want to do it during the school year.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about your sort of aspirations with YouTube and stuff like that, but I also saw that you posted a couple times about training for proper competitive Smash. Do you think that you're going to ever get into that world? Is that another aspiration of yours?
Oh yeah, so you saw that on my Twitter channel, I believe, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that where you saw it? Okay, because I remember seeing my title like that. Well, that one actually, for one, was more of a joking manner, but also that was also at the time where I mentioned to you guys at some point that I did join like this club at school, and they just made an esports club. But I did join for a little bit, but I didn't really like the scene as much, I'll be honest. I don't know. For some reason, I do like Smash a lot, but for whatever reason, it just gives me a weird vibe when I'm there, and it's not really something I feel like I'm totally into. I do probably will like this game better in a recreational manner, or kind of like a competitive, kind of like online warrior type of vibe. But I mean, I don't know. It's always on and off for me, because like I get really into Smash at some point, like now. And I haven't played Smash in a while, actually, and I want to say before like August started, I haven't played Smash that much, and then I came back to it as of recently. For some reason, I just got really into it again, so it's not something I'm totally like into right now, but I could definitely see me trying it. But as of right now, no intentions. I do just want to enjoy the game, play in a competitive manner, but not like locals or like that type of stuff,
Yeah, I mean, so do you think it's the esports club and that specific area that gives you that vibe, or is it this community in general? Like, what makes that feel like toxic and weird to you?
I wouldn't say the community, because I know there's a lot of nice people. Like, not all of them are toxic, and that's like in every community, to be honest. But I don't know. I guess it's maybe because the club, or like the people I've recently like came across. But right now, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not. Oh shoot. Maybe I'm just not into it.
So keeping on the same vein of Smash, but speaking a little more generally, what would you say is your favorite Smash game? I know you said you've been playing at least since Brawl with your group of friends, but have you played earlier than that? And if so, which game would you say is your favorite?
Right now, Ultimate is definitely my favorite. It's kind of like the hybrid between, it's like Melee, but a little bit slower, and like better in a sense because there's like more characters, more stages, no BS like wave dashing, which I find, I mean, it's cool to do, and I could definitely pull it off sometimes, but like, especially with my friends that don't know how to do it, I could understand how it can't be always fun because you're just like moving around the stage so quickly. But I just like the style of Ultimate. It's like both. It's like kind of fast. I do like the one air dodge thing. It makes it a little harder to get on the stage. And I've been playing actually Smash Bros since the first one. When I was probably around 6 years old. That's kind of how I got into Nintendo in the first place because I was babysat when I was like really young because my parents worked for long hours, and so after school I get picked up by someone's family, and I was with like another person too, another friend of mine that was also babysat by the same person, and so they had a child that was like 5 or 6 years older than us, and he had his friends over and they were playing a lot of N64, and one night that I was there watching him and his friends, they were playing Smash 64, and for some reason I just really liked Mario's design. I don't know why. Like, I saw his animation when they picked Mario, and I just thought it was cool. Like when I was really young, like 5, 6 years old, and I want to say Smash Bros is actually the reason why I started Nintendo, or liking Nintendo. And despite it being the first game I played, it's probably my least favorite, just because it's pretty slow. It's like not as slow as Brawl, I guess, but there's like less moves, and I just feel like, sure, it's the best one, but there's not a lot of stuff going with it. And I do like the challenge that there's less like moves, but I just came to love like Melee, this game, Smash 4 even, especially because it has online. So yeah, I want to say Ultimate's my favorite, and I started with Smash 64.
Okay. Now, speaking of your love for Nintendo, you have on your you have self-defined as a Nintendo channel several times in several places. And can you tell us a little about that and why you consider yourself so strongly a Nintendo channel, and if you feel any limitations because of that?
So yeah, Nintendo is a niche that I'm going with my channel as of right now. More so because, yeah, I grew up with it, I have a strong connection with it, and I did grow up with Nintendo more than any other console. Like, I didn't really grow up with Xbox or PlayStation. It's actually also because my parents were never really into me playing video games, and so when I ever had the chance to like buy a console or a new game or whatsoever, it was very rarely I would get a new game. And so let's say the GameCube came out or the Wii came out, and it's like if I had to choose between, you know, that Xbox or PS3 at that time, I would choose the Wii, you know, because it's something I already knew I liked. And so like I kind of was already like, it was like a set thing already that I knew I had to just keep doing that until I got my own money to buy my own 360 or a PlayStation or whatever it is, so I could experience other stuff, because, you know, I do want to play other games too. I just don't want to be playing the same stuff. But also with YouTube, you kind of want to thrive, in my opinion, keep a specific niche going so you have a continuous fan base. So I'm also thinking in an audience perspective that it's cool to stay, I think, relatively close to the same thing. Like, surely with Nintendo you can do more than just Let's Plays. For example, there's a lot of Nintendo vloggers, and I've done some vlogs myself, so I did want to integrate something different while still keeping the same niche of Nintendo. But it's more so because, yeah, I have the most expertise when it comes to Nintendo, and especially Mario, because I grew up with it. So I want to share the world, I guess, my knowledge and my passion for games like Nintendo, because I feel like it's also the most entertaining, and I do still enjoy it. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so several times in your answer there, I found it really weird that you would mention Mario explicitly, but like it seems like your favorite thing on the planet Earth is Luigi. Where did Luigi come from then? Like, if Mario was the one that got you into it, what happened with Luigi?
Oh, okay. Well, just to clarify, just the Mario franchise I'm into. I don't know. The Luigi thing, I have no idea. Oh, actually, I do remember. So, back in the topic of being babysat, the kid that lived there that owned the 64, he would let us play his stuff, but mostly, or explicitly, only Mario Kart 64 for some reason. He didn't want us to play other games. And so, me and my friend that was also babysat, we played that. And then, at the time, we were playing, you know, a verse match, or verse race. And my friend would always beat me to Yoshi, because we both like Yoshi, because I guess, I don't know, he's a green dinosaur. I feel like a lot of little kids like Yoshi naturally, because, you know, he's cute and stuff. So, I was like, oh man, I wanted to be Yoshi. He always beats me, and to be honest, he made like fun of me. He's like, yeah, I beat you to Yoshi. And so I didn't want to be Mario. I wanted to try somebody different. And since he took my character, Luigi was the option, and it kind of just grew from there. Gotcha. And I just started liking him more than Mario. Started playing Luigi in every game possible that has Luigi playable.
So you upload relatively frequently, and you have mentioned that, you know, you have school, but you also have work to balance. Can you describe just your workflow and how you balance all of these things out in general?
Yeah, sure. So during the school year, normally I try to keep my schedule like at least a day off from school, and then for work I only work weekends, which is nice now, because I used to work more at a different job. But now that I have, I guess, more time to make content, the days I don't have school or work, that's when I try to make as much content as possible while balancing homework and all. Even then, like, while I'm at school, as a commuter, I sometimes will have time in between classes to be able to, like, do whatever I want, like other homework. And then, as someone that aspires to do full-time, I sometimes take advantage of it, take my laptop out. If it's something that requires a script-based video, I would start jotting down stuff. So my schedule really just revolves around the free time I have. And I know this school year is going to be different, and I haven't devised a schedule yet. But I just do it whenever I can, and I always remind myself when I wake up, if I wanna keep going, I have to, like, move. Like, I can't, like, be sitting around. And it's kind of tough right now because my GPA right now in school is, like, almost perfect, and I've been keeping it like that, and I don't even know.
Yeah, I saw you're sitting at like a 3.9 now.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I didn't even expect that too. I kind of just do my work. Like, I never miss homework or anything, and, like, I know studying is important, so I'm like, okay, well, let me just make sure my grades are up. I never really thought I would be, like, almost perfect, and since now I have a year left, I'm just like, might as well keep it up, you know? I'm like, just keep the thing up, and maybe I'll get, like, graduate with highest honors or something, and that would be a cool accomplishment that I'd get from school. And so, hopefully, I mean, I'm probably gonna change that. If my GPA drops this semester just because I want to do more YouTube, then it is what it is. Like, that's what I'm aiming for. I don't really care that much to be where I want to be when I graduate. So, yeah, in terms of schedule, I just basically do it whenever I can when I don't have any other homework or stuff to do. With work, it's just the weekends, so it's not too bad. The hardest part actually is not being tired, because you have to do like so many things, and then it always hurts you when you don't have enough sleep. So that's also something I have to balance, but I've been okay with it. I was actually dead for like a few months with that, but with YouTube, just because of lack of sleep and so much work to do. But this coming semester, hopefully I can change that, and I can become more accustomed to, like, doing more videos.
How many videos would you define yourself as uploading a week, and also how many hours would you say gets put into the average video?
Okay, so I'm right now aiming for at least 1 to 2 videos a week, and also I just started a new thing where I want to stream Mario Maker once a week, And so I guess that keeps me motivated because at least my fans will come back, and then they'll stay. Like, you know, the retained viewers will stay.
How many hours would you say gets put into the average video?
In terms of hours, I want to say when it's a typical gameplay video, I want to say maybe a couple, maybe 3 hours in total, because I do want to make sure they're viewable. The first few minutes are the most important to me, so I want to make sure I put as many like zoom-ins or the funny parts in the beginning so people stay focused with the video. But when it comes to like videos such as the 20 facts video, things like those or discussion like videos, they could take more than 3 hours, maybe 5 to 6. Typically, I would say a day because I space out my workflow. I don't want to be working for 8 hours straight. So I want to say, yeah, around maybe 3 to 6, and I guess spaced out in like a day or two.
So what you're about to realize is that certain questions were written by Joshua and certain questions were written by me. So here's one of the questions that I have presented. Who's PapaGansley? Who is this guy, PapaGansley?
Wait, how do you know him?
I found him on YouTube interviewing you, and I wanted to know, who is this guy?
Oh, okay. So PapaGansley is the older brother of one of my friends and my childhood classmate since like first grade, basically. And he actually, both of them, they live like 2 houses away from me. We live in the same street. So, I mean, he's just starting, or he was starting a series, like an interviewing series. So he interviews like people with aspirations, or I guess people that are just doing cool stuff. Like whether it be making a business or, I don't know, like me being a YouTuber. So I was one of the candidates for that. And one day he was just like, yeah, I'm going to interview kind of like this fashion. But like it's more, I guess, conceptual. It's kind of like more strictly like YouTube. It's like strictly that than Smash Bros, I guess. But yeah, he's just some mutual. He's kind of my friend. I don't really see him that often. It was just like a one-time thing, to be honest. And I don't know what he's doing right now. I sometimes see his Instagram stories and he's just doing whatever.
You have a lot of friends involved with these sorts of things. Like, do you have a lot of neighbors who are like trying to do the same? Like, or is it just Gansley?
Just Gansley. Gansley was the only, like, not PapaGansley, but his younger brother, Brett. He basically like grew up with Nintendo too. He's the only other person that I know that really liked it. But the reason why we never connected was, I don't know. Like, he's the type where it's like he's into Nintendo, but it's kind of like it's secretive, and he would just be like the stereotypical high schooler, hanging out and partying like all the time, and like kind of, I don't know if you guys know the term normie, but it's kind of like that.
We're not so normie. We've not heard normie.
yeah. So, yeah, that's the reason why I haven't really talked to him. He's kind of like he seems to be the type of guy that says he likes Nintendo, but he's only like the stereotypical, I play Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, and plays more like CSGO and like Xbox or whatever type of like FPS games. But yeah, nothing really special about the Gansleys. They're not like my close.
Whoa.
They're not my close friends. I find them to be the type of people that just want to talk if they want to talk about something that's in benefit of them, for them. Don't worry, they're not gonna see
the
this.
PapaGansley diss track.
they're not gonna see this. If they do, I'm just saying the truth. And there's nothing bad saying the truth. Oh no, why did I...
Okay.
Yeah, let's just end that there.
to move to the next ridiculous idea that I had for a question. If I were to give you free reign over Smash, right? And I wanted you to make the perfect Luigi. What are you gonna do to buff him? Does he need a buff? Does he need? What do you think? What do you think we do to make Luigi the perfect character?
Bring back Rising Cyclone, please. bring back Brawl up B because it goes so much further. That's it. That's pretty much it. And I think he would be a pretty OP character because what's lacking right now with Luigi, why he's like, I believe, lower tier, is mostly his recovery. And I feel like if he can have Rising Cyclone again, it will definitely change up his neutral. Like, for sure, change up his neutral. But it's mostly that and up B, because up B in Brawl goes so much further horizontally than it does in this game. So those are the two moves I want back, and I feel like he'd be, like, one of the top tier characters.
How long have you been making YouTube videos, and did you have any like content making aspiration before you even started your channel?
So I started YouTube actually in 2010. It used to be on a friend's channel. He wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's make videos. Let's do, I don't know, a co-op of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, because I used to watch a lot of We Like to Pray back then. I don't know if you guys know them. And they do a lot of like 4-player stuff, a lot of Nintendo 4-player Let's Plays. And I had a group of friends that would play like what I wanted to play, like New Super Mario Bros., Smash Bros., Brawl, but they're not the biggest fans of those. So like it started there, like in terms of gaming content. But surprisingly, I didn't really have an aspiration of in terms of video making in general, or being like, you know, taking a camera and recording something. As Josh mentioned before, he did that when he was younger. I never really did that type of stuff, and so the whole thing just came from making a channel. Like I had no interest. I was just a kid that liked Nintendo, had a few other interests such as playing for the soccer team or whatever, and that's really it. So that's how it all started. Like everything with communications and everything I said earlier, with video production, writing, and everything came from making a YouTube channel.
Okay, and at what point during your video making did you actually start to consider yourself as being successful with the video making process and with posting online?
It's funny because like right now I still feel that my like stuff, or I feel like I'm at a successful standpoint, or feel like I'm gonna become successful with videos, like my Mario Kart DS facts I keep mentioning. I never knew that was gonna blow up. I solely did that for fun, and I saw like the first month it being only like 200 views, and I was like, it's whatever, I don't really care if it doesn't blow up, and it randomly blew up. So the success part in terms of just individual videos just came out of nowhere. Like I didn't expect any of it, to be honest. And I think that's the best way to view everything. Like you want to be successful, sure, but if I think of it more as like I'll do this for fun, and I'll see if I'll get views on it. Sure, I do stuff like live streams where I do want, I guess, more people to see it, and I'll be kind of quote-unquote thirsty for views sometimes, but I don't really think of things being successful. I kind of do it for fun, and if it does grow, then that's the benefit for me. I'm just at the breaking point right now where I realize things are going my way. So in the future, I hope my channel in general and my videos become successful overall the more I do YouTube.
Alright, we're ready for the patent pending Trey Lightning round. That's not going to be the name we end up with on the patent. I want to make, really quickly, I'm gonna throw some names at you. I want to make a tier list of fast food restaurants in your experience that have been the best. So I'm gonna throw some names at you, and you tell me what tier are they. And
out of what? S to what? Like F tier or something?
S to F.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do McDonald's to begin with.
I want to say I'll keep that at C. Kind of nothing special, but it's very cheap enough to kind of enjoy like a Big Mac or something. But it's nothing special to me, so C for now.
What about their direct competitor, the Burger King? What do you think about
I don't like Burger King, honestly. I would say D tier.
What about, let's slink into Taco Bell, one of those late night classics.
I'm not much of a taco person. I've only had Taco Bell once, so I can't really put it. I don't want to judge it, you know? Not enough not enough to say. I've only had the quesadilla there, so I don't even think I have the right to put in Tiros because I didn't even try taco there.
How about what about Zaxby's? You ever had a Zaxby's?
No, I don't have that here. My friend has it, like in Florida and like Virginia. I guess it's a southern thing, but I hear it's good. I hear it's good though.
Let's try a Wendy's.
That I'll say B. That's my favorite out of the 3 burger places.
We could always go to Chick-fil-A. They got those in that area?
Yes. Not that much, but I'm gonna say A. I like the chicken. A lot of people say, some people say it's overrated. They say the chicken isn't as fresh, but in my opinion, it's better than like, I don't know, KFC and Popeyes.
Well, where are KFC and Popeyes in our tier list, you think?
Popeyes, I sit at B. I think their chicken is pretty fresh and pretty good, especially the biscuits. I love the biscuits that go with it. KFC, I'm not much of a KFC person. I will gladly avoid it at all costs. I would probably put it at D, but what redeems it to maybe C is the chicken tenders. So I am a fan of the chicken tenders, just not the normal chicken or the other chicken.
So what have I missed that you think is an S tier?
I like Whataburger.
Oh, we don't have those.
Describe
that.
I don't have.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I don't have it too. But last year, my friends and I did another meetup trip in the Dallas area, in Texas, and they have a lot of Whataburger. And like whenever you get the chance to go there, get a patty melt. Like you'll feel like you'll get diabetes, but it's worth it. It's worth to get diabetes from that. It's really good. It's so savory. Like, I don't know. It's just so savory. The burgers in general, like the normal burgers, they're pretty good, right? But patty melts, which are basically like a burger with like kind of toast. It's like almost toast, but it's like it tastes like a bun. It's so weird to describe, but it's so savory. It's what you would expect in a burger, in my opinion.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the age-old question that I feel like every content creator gets asked once they get big enough. What equipment are you using?
Okay. Well, in terms of recording gaming stuff like this, you see on screen, I use an Elgato, specifically the HD60 Pro. It's the one that goes inside your computer. So I think that's the one. And for the microphone, I used to use a Blue Yeti until mine like stopped working. I thought it was the cable, but I tried every single cable, like micro USB, and it just kept crackling. So I think it was just something in the internals. Also was very overpriced, so I don't think it was worth it. The audio quality wasn't even that good. So right now, my friend actually recommended me this because he's an audiophile, and right now I use something called the MXL 990. It's a condenser microphone, and it's plugged into an audio box. It's a Presonus, so it's a small audio box where I could fit 2 condenser microphones via XLR, and I use a windscreen. Don't use a pop filter anymore. I just think they go up my face too much. But for webcam, if you saw some of my live streams, I use currently still the 30 FPS Logitech, I don't know, C920, I think. And in terms of my monitors, I use 2 Asus monitors. One of them is just a normal standard, like 2 millisecond, 60 hertz refresh rate, and I currently have this new one that's now my primary. It's a gaming Asus monitor with 1 millisecond refresh rate, 75 hertz, and yeah, I just got that recently because of Prime Day. I want to say 2 weeks ago. I used to use a really crappy Dell monitor, but yeah. And then for the whole computer, I actually have it custom built. Again, my same friend that was an audiophile, he's also a computer nerd. I wouldn't be able to build that by myself as I'm not really into that type of hardware or something. So the internals are kind of just all over the place. But I do want to say I run a graphics card, the NVIDIA GTX 960, and it runs games pretty well. It's not the highest thing, and yeah, I don't really game too much like Overwatch or anything, but it's good for what it is if I want to play games like that. And I guess that's in terms of hardware, that's what I have.
What about in terms of software?
Okay, so for video editing, use Adobe Premiere. But whenever I'm on my Mac, actually, this is a game changer right here. When I'm on my MacBook Pro, when I'm like doing vlogs or something, or just like traveling, the only thing I'll be using for video editing is actually not Premiere, but Final Cut, just because it runs smoothly with Macs. It's like optimized for it. I learned Final Cut from school, and I kind of just like learned more from like getting it on my own. And for recording voice, I used to use Audacity until I got Adobe Audition, which I'm currently using right now to edit this, to record this audio. And other than that, it's mostly Adobe stuff. If I want to create thumbnails, Adobe Photoshop. If for whatever reason I do want to make something on After Effects, which I have somewhat an experience, but not too much, After Effects. And I think that's really it. I don't really draw much, but when I do draw, I use, I guess, what's that called? Manga Studio. But that's it. I think that's all the main things I use.
Okay. And now, do you have any recommendations for stuff that maybe you used when you first started out that you don't use anymore, but would be great for someone who is starting out who doesn't have the money to drop on the Adobe suite?
Okay, so if you can afford Sony Vegas, I'm not sure if that's cheaper, but it might be cheaper than, or it should be cheaper than Adobe is what I guess. But I used to use Sony Vegas 8.0 a long time ago, but I don't even know what they're on now. So I use that. Windows Movie Maker I used a long time ago. And then when I had my first laptop, Windows Live Movie Maker, but that's really shitty. Don't go for that at all. If you can get the normal Movie Maker, do that. On a Mac, personally, you'll probably be fine with iMovie, but it'd be better to get something like Sony Vegas at first. It's so much better than Movie Maker and iMovie. If you need it for free, I guess you have to use Maker or like, I don't know, free trial of iMovie. But if you can pop some money, into the bank, buy some of that Vegas, do that.
So we've talked before about your time going to PAX, and you said that there's sometimes this experience that like people are just trying to get something whenever they come up and talk to you. What's a checklist to describe these sort of fake YouTubers? Like, what do you feel from them? What's an emotion they evoke?
Well, the first thing I know is like their enthusiasm. I can I'm not saying I'm an expert at this, but I can kind of sense some fake enthusiasm, or it feels fake. And what we were talking about off the record earlier a little bit. So we were talking a little bit, all of us, about fake people, a bit like surface level kind of friends, or just people that try to use you and stuff. It's almost the same way with the PAX events. There's people like that. I've had experience with people like that in high school, so I guess I have some sort of experience with people like that. So they'll come up to some creator. Granted, it's not me, because I wouldn't want that. But like my friend that's like bigger than me, a lot bigger than me, they would come up to them, start a conversation. The worst experience I had was when I'm talking to him about something personal or something just, friends talk about. And one person would come up, start like coming in saying, "Oh my gosh, hey, I wanted to meet you," or like, "Oh, what's up, man? Like, how you been? It's been a year since the last PAX." And it's like they butt in the conversation without like any regard that someone else is talking to them. And it just goes to show that they just care about wanting something from their end, like the benefit of talking to someone big or whoever is like a mutual, I guess, in terms of the YouTube community. So you could see people that just don't care about like personal stuff, or they just want to butt in every 5 seconds.
So for this question, I'm gonna strictly talk about your gameplay videos, not your top 10s or your any kind of other content that you make. This is strictly for your gameplay videos. But you seem to have two different main headspaces whenever you record these. The primary obviously is the standard comedic, look what's, this is funny what just happened. But the other one seems to be more direct commentary type of commentary that you have about what's exactly going on the screen rather than focusing on comedy. Well, how would you say that you classify those different headspaces, pre-recording, or is it just a kind of a natural flow? Walk me through what's going through your head as you're recording those types of videos.
Sure. So most of the comedic stuff, at least as of right now, is more so with friends. Since they don't really do, for example, the ones right now, they don't really do YouTube, and we kind of just want to record, or I at least want to record what goes on when we're playing, offline, I guess. So literally everything is just natural in that sense. Not saying that my stuff aren't natural, but if I want to like make stuff like something cool, I want to be informative, which I sometimes take as an alternate route. For example, if I see a cool mod that I want to showcase, then I stay more on the informative side and like let viewers know this exists and that you should try it out if you're interested in, let's say, Banjo-Kazooie, and there's a Banjo-Kazooie mod that you might like, because there's not a lot of Banjo-Kazooie games. So yeah, well, in terms of games of like that, I keep it more on the informative side. It really also depends how I feel, but I try to put in some funny stuff that naturally like comes to me. If I see like a really scary enemy and I like get scared or something, I will keep something in if it looks like it'd be entertaining to watch. But yeah, I'm kind of like the mixture of in between. I think it also goes because being a Let's Player back in the day, you kind of have to do both. You talk about the game a little bit, but if you're with friends or if you just plainly want to entertain, you do want to keep some funny stuff in to keep the viewers like engaged. And I think that also helps a lot with like my content now. It's just like my experience from Let's Playing before transition to these type of videos. But yeah, it all depends who I'm with, what mood I'm in, and what kind of content it is. So I just think of it in the moment.
And just another little meta question. You've got over 7.6 thousand subs right now. What are some of the 3 most important tips that you would give to somebody who's looking to reach those kind of numbers? Let's say they're just starting out, but they're looking to reach those kind of numbers. Just some of the 3 most important things that you could say to get there.
Have fun, because if you don't have fun with what you're doing, there's no point of doing it. You're just gonna get burnt out super easily. The second one I want to say is consistency. If you can upload at least like 1 video a week, that's how you're gonna keep like people coming back to your channel, all your subscribers and everything. Because like if they see you one day you upload one time that week and then you don't upload for like 3 months, most of the people are gonna forget that they subscribed to you, and they'll look at your sub box and be like, "Who's this guy? I don't remember subscribe." Like their attention span is short, especially if they only seen a little bit of your stuff. So it's important to be consistent, because otherwise the people are gonna forget about you. So if you want to stay relevant, you gotta be consistent while also having fun. And while the third thing is I think it's just being genuine. The best thing to do is be real, because if, like I said with the earlier question with PAX, if you're fake, I think you're personally not going to be going that far. I think the most genuine people are the most successful people, at least in terms of like where they're gonna be in life. I think it's also good for their mental health, because if they're doing everything for views and money and they're big one day and then they realize they're not happy, it's like one of probably the reasons is they're not being themselves, and then they end up changing their channel completely. It ruins their like what they have now. Like if they're doing Nintendo, but they really don't like Nintendo, they just doing it for the views. Then what do you have now? It's like you're gonna change to something completely different. You just gotta be genuine. Do what you like doing. Your niche. I mean, sure, there's some limitations because you don't want to be one day uploading Nintendo, second day you're uploading like you walking your dog or something. Like it's completely two different stuff. So to recap, just have fun, consistency, and be real. Like be genuine.
So you were just saying how much you like that Wii Fit Trainer soccer ball move. What though is the best, most hype move in Smash? Whenever you see it land, it's just hype.
I gotta think. I'm gonna be biased here. Luigi up B. At least right now, because I can't really think. There's like over 70 characters, and I gotta like process all of their moves like in my head. But that move just there. Any Captain Falcon punch or Ganon, that's a good move. As well as the Doria that you landed on me earlier, like that move. It's always nice to see that on a Pichu, poor Pichu. But yeah, for now it's just that. I can't really think of one, but all those moves that like that kill early, and you get it to land like in a cool like manner. Like it's not just like throwing the move out. It's just like it connects with your combos or whatever. That's the best.
And following that up though, like, are there any moves that are just total ass? Like, let's not ever do that again. They're either like frustrating to get hit with, or they're just not worth it in any way.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna ask. You're not talking about like annoying moves, right? That should be thrown away.
These are moves that either bother you when you get hit by them, or they're just really like
bad. So okay, so I'll give you two answers to that. What bothers me, I hate. Okay, well with Rob to me is one of the most annoying characters. He has so many moves, that make that he could easily space you out. But I hate his up air so much, because it has so many like frames or of like a hitbox or whatever. But other moves, like in general, Duck Hunt is just annoying, like purely annoying character. He has all the moves that annoy me. But now I actually did remember that I really hate Villagers and Isabel's, like, I think it's fair and back air. They're basically the same move with the stupid slingshot. Oh my goodness. When they keep hitting me, it's just like me getting hit continuously to the point where I can't even do anything. And it's the same kind of like ordeal like I mentioned before with Duck Hunt, because there's a lot of moves like the frisbee, like the dude that comes out, the cowboy dude that shoots like a bullet at you. It's like moves like those where they throw stuff at you. That's, I don't know. I feel like they have really weird hitboxes. Those are the ones that annoy me the most. And the second ones I want to say is Snake with his grenades, because he can get out of a combo if he can press B real quick, and then it'll explode on me and him at the same time, ruining the combo that I'm trying to do.
And as we're nearing the end here, I think the world would like to hear, you've explained to us before where your name came from, but let's go ahead and just get another quick explanation of where the name JigsawFlex came from, and then on top of that, yeah, let's just go ahead and do that.
Okay. So my username came from, well, it first started when I was becoming a high school student. It was like the summer of graduating 8th grade, and it just came to me where like I wanted to make a cool username that's rememberable. That's not like generic, where you see a lot of Pokemon tubers today. They just put their name, or they put something, an adjective or a verb, and then they put their favorite Pokemon. Or that's like me saying I like Luigi, and I want to be Luigi something, like Luigi Hero or Luigi Hero 14 or something. Like I don't want to do stuff like that. I wanted something unique, and I've always liked stuff that had to deal with puzzles. I like puzzle games. I did those math puzzles like Sudoku, as well as I like puzzle pieces actually the most. Like just solving a puzzle, like a Pokemon one I used to have, a Pokemon set, which was like a Gen 2 one. I don't know where it is anymore. And that was the one I was like trying to put together the day I made my channel. Actually, I still remember that. And I was watching. I think it was Pokemon Battle Frontier I was watching, and I was like, I'm gonna do this puzzle set as I was watching Pokemon Battle Frontier, and that's where the jigsaw part came in. And the flex part was just last second. It was just my dad bought a bench press, and I was looking around my room that can go well with a jigsaw puzzle or just something jigsaw related, and I thought flex. Because when you're at the gym, you're like flexing, and that was something I was really into at the time, working out, and so I thought it sounded cool. And at that point, I just kept the name, to be honest.
All right, so it's been wonderful having you, Kirk, JigsawFlex. Do tell everybody where they can find you and what's the best way to reach you.
All right, just want to say first thing, thank you, Josh and Trey, for having me in this Smashcast. This is like my first ever real collaboration. I've never done like something like this before, so I'm honored to be part of something like this. People can find me on youtube.com/JigsawFlex. If you want to see my content, I do, as mentioned a lot of times, Nintendo content, various Nintendo content. You can find some reviews, discussion videos, gameplay if that's what you're interested in. If you want to see a little bit of my old Let's Plays, I have some of those public. If you want to cringe. But mostly lately I've just been doing a lot of random Nintendo content. So if you're into like spontaneous stuff that involves this type of interest, definitely check my stuff out. You can contact me via Twitter at twitter.com/JigsawFlexYT. And if you are really interested and want to keep up to date, I guess more in a real-time manner, I do have a Discord server, so if you guys want to put in the link to my Discord,
all of your information will be in the description.
I guess you can do that. Yeah, totally. And other than that, I do have a Twitch, but you don't have to follow me there. I advise right now, don't really follow me, because all my streams right now are going to be on YouTube, as I want to grow more on that platform. I feel like that's the best way to retain my fans and everything, and they all also prefer YouTube. So I have that, just letting you guys know. Nothing's gonna happen there. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's all I have. If you're interested, like I said, drop a subscription.
Yep, and we want to say,
right.
of course,
Really
yep,
great.
thank you so much to Kirk for coming out here. And Trey, you were about to say something?
And I was about to die. I'm so glad that we got the chance to work with you, man. So we'll see if more comes out of it. And this is the first episode of Smashcast. We're gonna have more guests coming, and we'll see them coming through in the coming weeks.
All right, well, see you later, guys, and thanks again, Kirk, for being out here.
No problem. See you guys later.